Whenever a new platform launches, first movers have an exponential advantage over everyone else. From Apple's App Store to social media platforms like Threads, people and products who get in early are seen by more users and have a greater chance to generate more revenue. With the launch of the GPT store, I wanted to share how I would get in early and make money with GPTs this year. And I've split this video up into 4 parts to do just that. The first 3 parts cover how to make money with GPTs, and then in the 4th part, I dive into my laptop and walk through how to build a GPT from scratch so that you can get started. So hit that subscribe button and let's look at the first way to make money with GPTs this year. The first method for making money this year with GPTs is probably the most obvious, and it's to create a GPT that can be sold on the GPT store. The GPT store works a little bit like the App Store and allows people to browse, download, and buy GPTs where you then get a cut of the royalties. Now, just like any type of product, if you want to create a GPT that people buy, it needs to actually solve a useful problem for them that they're then willing to exchange money for. So this might be something like saving them time doing a task. It might be something where it connects up to an external API which can then be sold, or it might be something which is just so fun people feel compelled to buy it in order to access all of its features. For me, if I'm building any type of product, I always think, what is the pain point of the end user that's going to be my potential customer? And often one of the best ways to do this is to consider problems of the type of people that use ChatGPT already. So if you think about the average user of ChatGPT who's got some money in their pocket, it might be somebody like a marketeer or a copywriter or a startup entrepreneur who wants to create copy for their website or for their newsletter, or they use ChatGPT just to save time with things like emails. And so we can then think, what does this align to in terms of their pain? Well, this might be writing copy takes time, but actually, if we think about this a little bit more deeply, why are they writing the copy or sending an email or creating a website in the first place? Is it that things like copywriting or search engine optimization, which are essential for marketing and for sales, are either prohibitively expensive or again just take them lots and lots of time? So if you can create a GPT that focuses around one of these common pain points for people who already use ChatGPT and who are already ChatGPT premium subscribers, i.e. they're already paying for ChatGPT, it's likely that that buyer persona is going to easily pick up your own GPT at a paid price and use it for their own means. So what we might do here is we might create a marketing focused GPT which focuses on taking existing copy or generating copy and optimizing that for Google search using search engine optimization principles, where ChatGPT itself often just gives out generic responses which might not be optimized for keywords or for generating posts in bulk. Another good idea here is aligning to sales emails and generating sales email personalization in bulk to save the valuable time of sales professionals. It's got a really good chance of growing exponentially if you get in early at the GPT store launch, and if you can market it on socials using some viral video captured from the GPT that you're building. This might be something like a funny conversation, it might be an amazing image that's been generated, and if you share that on socials and it gets picked up by some influencers, or you reach out to influencers and try and get them to share it to their audience, this is where your GPT can get ahead of all the others and really take off. 2 final things I'll say on selling GPTs is all about branding. When we go through the GPT builder at the end of this video, you'll see that the GPT builder will use Dolly to create its own logo for your GPT and will also suggest names. And the name associated with your ChatGPT account will also appear below the name of your GPT. Now, there are a couple of things that I suggest doing here. One is you create your own logo outside of ChatGPT to make it unique and make your GPT stand out. Remember, if you're browsing through any type of store and you see a long list of items, you want something that stands out and grabs people's attention to stop them from scrolling and to get them to buy your GPT. So having a catchy short name, having a logo that stands out, and having your brand and link to your website in your ChatGPT account name that appears below that logo is absolutely essential. But that's not the only way to make money with GPTs this year. Okay, so the next way to make money with GPTs this year is to actually provide a service that builds GPTs for other people and provides strategy for businesses who might not know how best to leverage GPTs for their own gain. Now, this is a great way for things like agencies or solopreneurs who already offer a service in the AI space to differentiate themselves further and really work with businesses and larger clients to create something focused around their needs. As we'll see when I walk through the builder a little bit later on, you can actually add in API calls and more advanced coding in order to add in extra features outside of those offered by ChatGPT. Now, we've already seen this with ChatGPT plugins, where you can connect up to apps like Expedia or Zapier and then bring in their functionality directly into ChatGPT. For large, slow-moving organizations, they might not even have heard of the GPTs and understand how they can actually take advantage of them. So by directly reaching out to businesses and offering your services as a GPT builder and strategy consultant, you can bring clients in on retainer, and this might start off with simple bespoke projects, like say for example charging $1,000 for building a quick outline of a GPT and explaining to a business how this will help them in the coming year. You might then want to put them on a retainer to build subsequent GPTs and offer updates and strategy as OpenAI offer more features throughout the year. And there are tons of ways that businesses can take advantage of GPTs, particularly the knowledge retrieval function, where you can upload documents or connect via the Actions button to external databases. For example, OpenAI have got an example in their cookbook showing how the World Health Organization connected OpenAI up to their own database and then allowed employees to query that database to find information fast in order to help them perform at their jobs better. And this is something you can do for any business, whether you connect up via a link to their database using security credentials, or more simply, you download a knowledge repository from the business and upload it into the GPT. That business can then use this for all of their employees or for giving it externally to their customers and helping them to quickly find answers where previously it took a help desk professional a long period of time and cost to empower their customers. And there are tons of other examples you can use here too. But the first step here is simply getting up your own website and adding a calendar booking system and switching up your social profiles to say that you offer GPT building services, and then reaching out to organizations you'd like to work with this year. Okay, and the third and final way that I would make money with GPTs this year would be to market my own product through the GPT store and extend the reach to an audience that I might not already be working with. And a great example of this is Veed and their video GPT, which is freely available. As we can see from the Veed GPT, it's got a link to the Veed website directly underneath the GPT logo and name, and people can work with this for free in ChatGPT, and they can then link into their Veed account as they work through and create a video. This is bringing Veed to a completely new audience who might not have already seen them, and it's also adding additional functionality to the Veed product by allowing people to use that ChatGPT conversational interface to create their own video in a fraction of the time it might take someone who doesn't have deep video skills. Now, for this type of GPT, I definitely recommend giving it away for free rather than charging for it, and making sure that you link securely into your own application. I think we'll see lots and lots of existing brands and startups building out free GPTs, which primarily act as a marketing resource and a way for new customers to access their products. So now we've seen 3 methods of making money with GPTs, let's dive into my laptop and walk through how you can build a GPT right now and get ahead and get listed on the GPT store. Okay, building out a GPT could not be any easier, and I'm going to give you a whistle-stop tour of the GPT builder and how to publish a GPT in the next few minutes. So what we're going to start off by doing is clicking on the GPT builder, and as you can see, there are 2 tabs available here. There's Configure, which allows us to enter data we already know directly into the GPT, and we've then got Create, which acts as a conversational GPT builder where we can interface with ChatGPT, and it can help us to build out our GPT based on the conversation we have with ChatGPT. We've then got the preview section on the right hand side. So I'm just going to start off by typing in the type of GPT that I want to build and see what the GPT builder can create. So my GPT here is going to be a habit tracker for busy people, and the GPT builder will work with me in the conversation field to pick out things like the name, the function, and even the logo. And we can add things like a document or upload our own logo into the conversational interface if we want to give that added element of customization. So I'm just going to quickly work through this, and you'll see the conversation that I have with the GPT builder and the GPT it builds. Okay, so we've now created the Habit Helper app using the GPT Builder conversational interface. We can try that out in the preview side of the screen just by interfacing with the GPT as we might do normally and clicking on some of the conversation starters like I've done here. We can then also click on the Configure tab and head over to actually edit some of the settings manually. So here we can do everything from changing the name to changing the description and the logo and even the custom instructions that the builder has built out. If we don't like any of the conversation starters, we can also delete these and add in our own, and we can even upload our own articles to a knowledge database which the GPT can then reference, which is great for any reference GPTs. Finally, we can select things like whether we want web browsing to be available on our GPT, DALL-E image creation, or code interpreter, which is ideal for code-based GPTs. There's then something called Actions, where you can actually connect up your GPT to an external API to pull in information from an external application, things like Zapier or Expedia, or anything external and outside ChatGPT. Now, I'm not going to cover this in detail in this video, but it is a great way to actually leverage some of your skills and work with businesses to create a GPT for them that references any of their own products or connects up to things like databases in their own organization, which can then be used by their employees to query things at the press of a button. So once we're done with that, we can then hit save, and we can either keep that private, share it via a link, or publish it to the GPT store. Okay, so those were just a few of the ways that you can make money this year with GPTs and the GPT store. I hope you found this video useful. I'll pop up another video over here linking to a deeper dive on GPTs to help you explore that in a little bit more detail, which is definitely worth checking out. As always, thanks so much for watching and for subscribing, and I'll catch you again in the next one. See ya.